Alrighty, everyone, welcome to qualifying day here in Monza, the Italian Grand Prix. We'll be setting the grid for tomorrow's race, of course, but without further ado, let's run through what we're going to be looking at today. Of course, Monza is a very high-speed circuit, so expect a lot of drag reduction in the way of small rear wings, top speed, and maybe some struggling through the corners. So let's see how Red Bull line up. Probably not too bad, I'd imagine, in qualifying this weekend. When does quali start from here? We have being asked. It will be 6 minutes from now. So, almost there, guys. Almost there. It's 11:30 my time that it starts. It's currently 11:24. Let's get underway, shall we? What is everyone's predictions for qualifying? Let me know right now in the comments down below. Thank you very much for the follow, everybody. What is happening? My qualifying prediction is Lando Norris will get pole, but Oscar will win the race tomorrow, is my broad estimation. But, you know, happy to be proven wrong. I wouldn't actually be shocked to see Ferrari do something good today. Equally, though, the same can be said for the inverse. I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't do well. But I think more likely than not, they will do well, or better than not, if that makes sense. I'm saying a lot of words. R&B. Lando, Piastri, Leclerc. I think that's a decent estimation. I think Red Bull of Max Verstappen will be up there, though. That's my only problem. I do believe that yeah, Max will do well today. That's all. Honorable Ferrari. Dave Campbell. I don't disagree with you today. I think Mercedes are going to struggle a little bit compared to usual. I really hope Kimi performs well. He needs it. He really does. It is home race nonetheless. Please, for the love of God, do well, son. There's our live timing board for today on TikTok. It sounds like third of the day in practice. Yeah, so he was third fastest in practice. But you know, that doesn't mean an awful lot. They would have been doing different runs than usual. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, for qualifying at the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza. Of course, round 16 here. We have 8 races left after this weekend, and it is starting to heat up. Oscar Piastri currently leads by 34 points. Lando Norris desperately needing to turn the tables this weekend. There are 3 wait, no, never mind. There are 2 DRS zones here. I've thought that before. Ascari, no, whoa. Oh my god, I have forgotten the corner name. I am an idiot. The final corner, it's, yeah, they don't have a DRS zone before then. Because it's dangerous, because you... shouldn't they get on the brakes? What am I talking about? Never mind. Why isn't there a DRS zone there? This has actually just brought me to something very important. Should we ask why that's not the case? It could be, right? Right? Ah, well. The Foci are out in full form right now. There's a sea of red at Monza, as to be expected, week in, week out, year in, year out. It's not week in, week out. There's not a race there every week. Well, actually, there's a lot of action at Monza. Just not F1. Come on, Oscar. I have a very stiff calf right now. Not that anyone cares, but it is giving me some grief. Oh, they've just shown a baby crying. That's not very fair. He's been born a Ferrari fan. Poor lad. I can see why he's upset. Why do they just keep showing children? They're just showing more Ferrari children. And all of them are unhappy. That's all you need to know. Any surprises happen tomorrow? Yes, I do think there'll be some surprises. Thank you, Rose. I am feeling better this week. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm feeling better. There will definitely be something tomorrow that goes off. We've always had some drama here. What that will be is obviously very unpredictable. Right now, the championship, Piastri 309 points to Lando's 275. And then you've got another 70 back to Verstappen. Verstappen now 104 points behind the championship lead. That is ridiculous when you look back 2 years ago. The contrast is wild. Absolutely wild. Alrighty, come on, guys. Let's hit the track. 1 more minute. Piastri is killing it. Gabe, he is flying. And I could not be any happier, really. Could not be any happier. Gabby Bortoletto, he needs a better weekend again. He's had a flash of form. Just needs to get back out to it. Yo, is this the guy who got P2 in the F2 sprint race? Oh, Charlie. That might be me, low-key. Low-key might be me. Guys, just raced. Have they started yet? Well, technically, yes. There's no one setting laps yet. You can see up here on the telemetry that we have cars on track doing outlaps right now. So that's what we've got up here. No one yet setting a time. We've got a Mercedes rounding the final corner now, coming to the start-finish. That will be on a lap. Let's watch. That's going to be George Russell, is it? Setting the first lap? No, it is Kimi Antonelli, who seems to be doing a double warm-up lap because he's not pushing. Interesting. So he's gone out on the mediums. It's an interesting approach now. So Kimi Antonelli, opinion on Gasly's contract extension. Don't have a problem with that. Quite pleased. Yo, ciao, come stai? Sto bene, e tu? Yeah, Gasly's contract extension. I mean, he's a good driver. I think as far as having someone with some experience in the team goes, as you're bringing in more youth, because we know that Alpine are going to try and keep rolling the dice until they get it right. Yeah, I know who you are, brother. Ivan, my boy. I don't know. It was 2027, right? Interesting. Charles Leclerc. Here we are. 28 was it? Okay. Yeah, Gasly's contract extension's great. I love Gasly. I think he's great. Hey Nicola, what's good? All right, let's watch Charles Leclerc on his first lap. Obviously, we have no representations. Yes, we do. We've got Bortoletto. Those would have to be... Surely that's not representative pace of the cars in front, right? I feel like mid-120s is pretty average. Yeah, Hulkenberg's just gone 4/10 quicker. Are they doing 2 warm-up laps? That'd have to be right. That's... Oh, Hulkenberg's actually just done a really great lap then. By the looks of things, Leclerc actually not a whole lot quicker than Nico so far. Let's see if they've got that straight line speed, though. That could always be the case. Let's see what happens in the third sector here. Washed out nicely through the mid-corner there. Carrying maximum middle corner speed. Leclerc goes fastest, but it's only by a 1/10.5 from Nico Hülkenberg, which is a little bit strange. Hamilton also only 0.05 in front of Hülkenberg. That's quite strange. Ooh. Ooh. This is going to be incredibly close in this qualifying session, unless the McLarens on their first laps here just absolutely fly. They are first right now. What are you talking about? Gabe, where are McLaren in the constructors? Oh, yes, I don't know how I missed that. McLaren are absolutely first in the constructors and will, without a shadow of a doubt, win the constructors. Meanwhile, will it be Oscar or Lando winning the drivers? That's a different question. My personal opinion and professional opinion is that it'll be Oscar that wins. But this is sport, and you never know how things are going to pan out. So there's every chance that it will go either way. But I would say confidently that probability-wise, Oscar is... he'd be taking my money. But I'm not a gambler. Kenny Rogers, right? The Gambler? That's a Kenny Rogers song, right? Let me look this up. Just to... Oh, Max going a bit wide there. Yeah, The Gambler is by Kenny Rogers. Look at me. They've been pushing for Lando for the longest until Oscar came, Gabe. Absolutely. Well, the thing was, is that Lando was that talent they were going to nurture. Then they brought in Oscar Piastri, the best talent since Max Verstappen. And before you know it, you've got a driver that's going to contest with Lando, nay, beat Lando. Am I still sick? No, I'm not. The McLarens not looking all that quick on this opening lap. Verstappen goes second fastest, 11 thousandths behind Leclerc, splits the Ferraris. The McLarens are on track right now, Norris in front of Oscar, and they're not moving all that quick. Actually, I take it back, the middle sector was incredibly strong. That indicates to me they're running a little bit more downforce than their rivals in the Ferraris. Is any rain coming? It doesn't look to be that case at this point in time, but I'm not entirely certain. Yeah, the fact that Lando was a couple tenths quicker in the middle sector indicates to me that they are running a bit more downforce than their rivals, which might be detrimental in race pace if they're unable to get past cars. Now, the problem, the thing is, if they're able to out-qualify them, right, if they can out-qualify everyone else already just based on pace, they won't have to worry about that straight line speed really being an issue. The thing with the straight line speed around a track like Monza with the DRS zones and being so long, and the straights being so long, is that, you know, if you've not got that straight line speed, even with the DRS, counting in battery preservation, it's incredibly hard to overtake still, even though you've got a lot of space to do it. So for McLaren, if they're able to qualify first and second, control the pace, having that extra downforce, if that's what their fastest lap looks like is with that better downforce. That's the way to do it, and you don't have to worry so much about the straight line speed in an overtaking situation. If you obviously start out in front, so I think that's kind of where their heads at. Max Verstappen, running his car very wide. Look at that rear wing. This is what I was talking about. If you don't know, I do an F1 preview every race over on YouTube, a full preview, and then I do a short form one for Instagram and TikTok. In my previews, we spoke about the front wing, also the rear wing situation with Red Bull and how that might be favorable for them this weekend. If you guys remember a few races back now, because they've had a few poor performances, they had some pretty decent success in the last few. Let me try and reword that. The last few times that they've found some pace has been just from dropping the rear wing so much and just prioritizing straight line speed and making it super twitchy for Max to be able to control. And I think that's obviously what they're doing here. This is a straight line speed sort of circuit where they should find some pace as a result of that. I just saw the most iconic thing for an Italian Grand Prix is a massive sponsorship board by Barilla, or Barilla. The pasta company. That's the most Italian thing I've ever seen. Just Barilla. I think Mercedes is too kind to Kimi. He's been making a lot of mistakes and isn't performing greatly. Well, define too kind. Fernando Alonso right now has gone purple in Sector 1. It's just been outdone by... Is that Bortoletto? I think. Is that Bortoletto who's going to be setting that purple Sector 1? Stroll up into 8th. Alonso goes second fastest. Watch out, baby. Hello. Ollie Behrman goes 9th fastest, while Hamilton struggling in Sector 1, I believe, on a used set of softs, is struggling, goes 5th fastest. George Russell currently on those mediums. I believe they have done a couple laps now, so they will have been brought in quite nicely. The medium may be the way to go in qualifying here this weekend. Let's see what that Mercedes does. George being able to push on that rubber the whole way through, crosses the line, and does go fastest by 0.2. Hello. Hulkenberg was purple Sector 1, had a poor Sector 2. Bortoletto goes P4, jumping both of the McLarens, so both of the Ferraris and the McLaren of Oscar Piastri, rather. That was just a really nice, consistent lap. And Carlos Sainz going 3rd fastest. I can tell you right now, track evolution is going to be crucial here. And what that also means is wait for 5 minutes when everyone's going on their outlaps for their final runs in Q1. We are going to see the most abhorrent traffic that you're ever going to see at any track. Monza is notoriously bad on that back straight. Everyone weaving, jostling for a little gap. And there are going to be some feisty radio calls. So just wait for that one. Give it a minute. Does Lando still have a seat? Yes, absolutely. Lando's sort of like an indefinite contract type deal. He's got a long-term contract. I don't think they've actually specified his due date. Yeah, he's I agree with you to a degree about Antonelli, but it's, you've got to nurture talent. You don't need to force pressure. He has been making more errors recently, but how you handle that is a different thing. It's not. I wouldn't advise ripping them to pieces. We've seen that happen at the Red Bull camp for so many years, and it tears careers apart. I mean, Alex Albon, can you actually imagine if he'd stayed for... They're overly nurturing. I don't agree. I think give him a full season, then reassess where you're at next year. Next year, also brand new set of regulations, a brand new car. Even if he doesn't end up achieving what he might have wanted this year, you never know. He might really get along well with the car next year. So But at what point do you nurture and see no result? That is the question, right? And I would say they have seen results. Inconsistent, but they have seen results. So it depends on what they're looking for. Are they looking to build for a project of, we want to be back and fighting at the top within 4 years? You know, we want to work with what will be the best thing for us come 2030 sort of thing. Or do they think that they're going into 2026 with a chance of winning the constructors again? In which case, they're going to be more critical on an effective, immediate point scoring. That's going to be the question. It really comes down to what their goal is. What is it that they're trying to achieve at this point in time? You see with Cadillac, they've gone with 2 highly experienced drivers with no one with incredible longevity. And for them, that makes a lot of sense because they are really just looking to start with the solid groundwork for the team. You know, Cadillac are coming in and they want to get as much great feedback as they can for the whole team that they're trying to build. And then all of that. Okay, just looking at everyone coming out now, by the way, we've got some strugglers. Esteban Ocon has come out right at the front of the queue, which means great clear air. Unless he comes on the back of cars that are going to be coming around. And I do think that might be the case. Ocon is going to have to avoid a lot of cars that are on their outlaps. If I was Ocon right now, I would be probably not pushing so much. I would be really slowing down on my way through here because he's going to catch the back of those cars. We're dropping some frames on the camera, which I'm not a fan of. 3 minutes to go now. Would it be different if he was an older, more seasoned driver in his first season of F1? As in, do you think that they would be more critical on him? Absolutely. You're looking at an 18-year-old, right? Let's not beat around the bush here. So, yeah. Look at Max Verstappen, okay? Max's first couple years was rough in terms of consistency and results in a lot of ways, but you saw the talent was there and they nurtured him. Even, you know, his years with just the 17, 18, starting to force his way through into being number one and push Danny Rick out the way. Even then, he was still inconsistent and had his issues. Even 2021, when he was fighting for the championship, won the championship. That wasn't without chaos. Sure, he was performing and doing quite well, but still, you rough out the edges, smooth out the rough edges over time. Kimi Antonelli's first sector is really not good. This is actually kind of heartbreaking to watch. His first sector isn't good enough to get him out of the bottom 5. Please, Kimi. Gosh. I need to have a better sector 2 split, please. Okay, he's 2/10. He is 2/10 up on Albon, so he's 2/10 clear of the drop zone right now. The problem being, though, track evolution, so watch out. He might not be safe yet. Yuki Tsunoda goes 3rd fastest right now. That should be okay. Kimi has driven a nice lap here, but it's just, is it going to be enough? Let's have a look. To the line. Shortest run to the line. It's P11. That might not be good enough, you know. I don't think that's going to be good enough. Ooh, Hadjar not actually gaining all that much. He's gone slower through Sector 2, as has Gasly. Franco Colapinto in P19 right now, coming across that second sector split. Also down and not improving right now. So he could end up being safe. So as long as Hadjar, Gasly, and Colapinto don't improve, he's okay. Let's have a look. This will be their last laps now. Hadjar crosses the line. He goes P15. Antonelli's fine from that. Let's have a look at Gasly. Gasly goes P18. Colapinto equally doesn't improve as he crosses the line, or he might improve on his lap time, but he doesn't go any further than P16. Antonelli is safe. Okay, Antonelli, he's all right. Albon, P18 right now. He needs to get across. P15, he has got out for now. Hulkenberg currently purple through Sector 1 again. Yellow Sector 2, but showing that they've got the pace on the straights is the Kick Sauber. Bortoletto now also improving through first and second sectors. He had a massive wobble, though, through the final corner. That would lose him a lot of time up to the line. He crosses the line. Bortoletto won't improve because of that Sector 3. That was a massive time loss. Hulkenberg also not improving, but P13 will see him clear. That will be plenty fine. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, not Jar Jar Binks. Kimi has had his issues, but he has also had his success. So, you know. I agree, some random person. Piastri, is that an aborted lap there, or what's the deal? That's a used set of softs, so don't worry. It's a really good lap, by the way, from George Russell. And Lando Norris will cross the line, and he has stayed third fastest. That right there looks to be your Q1 finish. Liam Lawson, P20, Gasly 19th, Colapinto 18th, Stroll 17th. A shame for him not to get out while his teammate is in P6. And Hadjar, P16. A double Racing Bull exit here at Monza. The first time we've seen that for quite some time. Ever? Have we... This year, when was the last time we had a double Racing Bull Q1 exit? It's been some time. Stroll will climb to P7. I don't disagree. That's incredibly possible. I think Haas will move to Cadillac engines later on to improve the American name. That is a potential, that's a potential partnership that could take place. Very, very reasonable that it could. It'll just depend on what relationship they have. You know, there's a lot more complications. There's every chance that they don't get along, in which case they won't. But I don't see why there would be any issues. That makes sense. Partner with the American brand. So what was the name? Hang on, let me have a look at this. Let's do some more research. Let's come over here. Bang, bang. What was I looking up? Cadillac F1 team engines. Yeah, I was gonna say they're they're going to be using Ferrari engines for the first few years. I thought that was the case. I didn't think they were going to have their GM power units initially. It says here that they won't be introduced until 2029, maybe. So the FIA approved one will start in 2029. So they have to be a customer for Ferrari to begin with. Senna Forever, welcome along. I believe that Stroll is a good driver, not World Drivers' Champion, but midfield. I don't disagree with you. I think that, he's good. I wouldn't put him on a Piastri or Lando Norris or Max Verstappen level by any means, but I do believe that he is a great driver. Second youngest podium sitter, by the way. There you go, by the way. You hear that from Isak? That's shades of OG Isak right there. The Isak scream. It's crazy. Like in his junior years, that was 90% of his communication. It was just heated. I love it. Isak's he's got a lot of emotion. He was difficult to deal with back in the day, says a lot of people. But kind of the GOAT. Yo, thanks for the follow. So what happened with Hajar here? I dropped it rough, except the second Lesmo. George Russell pole might be the worst thing I've heard. Not that I don't want him to get pole, but it's just not happening, you know. Who crashed? No one crashed. We're just, we have qualifying 2 still to come. I think they're just clearing up some gravel from the track, so there's no one crashed. They're just waiting. Yeah, the way Isak shouted, "Of course," made you laugh. That's what I'm talking about. The OG energy, shall we say? Hulken balls. I don't get the reference. Is this something I should get, or is this just you saying something funny? When is Q3? Well, gotta have Q2 first, and then after that, then we have Q3. So I don't know. It's on Twitter. What happened? What is the deal with Hulk balls, guys? Can someone please fill me in on the lore? Because I'm not familiar. I don't have the knowledge. Why don't you think George Russell pole could be possible? I haven't explicit. Oh no, that was Q1. I haven't explicitly said that he won't. I just have a lot of faith in the McLarens, and my opinion was that Red Bull would be quicker than maybe they are so far. I do believe that this is the sort of track that suits that Red Bull at the moment. It is, if there was ever a track that would do so, it would be this. Oh, it was the first Lesmo that Hajar dropped it. Never mind. My bad. What's Hulk balls? Can someone please tell me? Is this something that's inappropriate? Is this inappropriate? Stream's going well? It is. Welcome. Thank you, Finn. It's a picture. What of? Oh, is it? Oh, is it a leak? Is it like he's accidentally been flashed? Is that what it is? Oh dear. Okay. It was just he was wearing something. Okay. All right. Well, sounds very interesting. Yeah, feel free to send it to me if you want. He said McLaren's not really quick. I wouldn't say that necessarily. I think they would be quite quick. Kiki ra. Oh. You put it in the comments of my last video. Awesome, thank you. Okay, it's on the Discord. Where? General? Oh my god. Right. I see. There's a lot of curvature. Interesting. Okay, I see. There's lots of definition in there. Well played. All right. Well, I saw it, so well done. Interesting. Fernando Alonso put in a great lap there in Q1. Interesting photo. We got, who is that out on track right now? Is that an Alpine? That looks like Gasly, right? Yep. No, it's a Williams. Gasly's 19th. Sorry, guys. Whoops. Sorry. Nose is a bit itchy, guys. So in Australia right now, we're just ticking over to that sort of spring into summer period where it's starting to warm up again. And I'm feeling it. Not a big fan. Leclerc, get up. Is this Q2? Yes, we've just started Q2, guys. The Williams are out on track first. What's the Discord? My Discord is, there's a link in my bio to join the Discord, guys. So if you want to join, it's great. We talk all things F1. You get notifications when we go live and all sorts. And you can join in on all the conversations. I work for Kayo. I don't work for Kayo necessarily. I'm partnered with Kayo, shall we say. Actually, technically I am. No, that's not shall we say. I am partnered with Kayo, yeah. Collaborative efforts. Let's have a look at this first sector for Carlos. It's looking nicely hooked up, to this point at least. A 26.6. There we go. Thank you, Finn. Still in Q1. No, this is Q2 now. So Sainz did a 26.6, and then Albon has done a 26.5, so he's about 10th quicker. Albon just made it. Yes, he did make it. 53.4. There we go. Compared to 53.26. Albon is quite quick right now. Interesting. The track evolution here will be quite strange. You swear to God, if Piastri gets eliminated, well, it won't happen. It can't. I agree. It is quite warm here in Adelaide. But what it does, what do you mean, Ivy? What are you talking about? It. What if he does? Were you impressed with how Joe drive last week? Absolutely. I was shocked that he managed that pace so well. Because, well, he had a nice starting position. It's a hard place to overtake, yes, but he managed his race really well, and it was a mature drive. Did he get a bit fortunate with a couple little instances around him? Sure, but that's the thing. Did he get driver of the week? I don't know about driver of the week. I know driver of the day. He got driver of the day. Yeah. Yeah, pit lane to 6th was crazy from him. Max Verstappen now out on his first lap. Let's have a look at this. How tight does he hug that inside right? Because we know the esports line. Let's see if he takes the esports line. No, not quite. 2/10 up on Carlos through sector 1 there. Oh, Max Verstappen. Here goes sector 2. Oh, he's half a second up, come through the second sector. Yeah, especially considering Mercedes and Ferrari were confident they had superior race pace. Yeah, I agree. Viewer of the day, guys. Who's going to be viewer of the day? Max at the low 119. Yeah, definitely. 19.234. Oh my God, I was close. No, I wasn't. Never mind. Never mind, I wasn't. It was 236, the gap between, or something. It was two. Oh no, it was 239. A 2239 that Sainz did, and then I saw that as the right. That was shit. That was silly. Max has cooked. Russell goes behind Max, as does Antonelli. Your gunner's going to win the league or what this year? Probably not. No, I don't know. It's too early to tell. Leclerc with a very tight line to the finish line. Norris radio. Norris being told to box this lap. Is that an issue that we're hearing from Lando? You surely wouldn't have an issue with the McLaren. Guys, there's no way. You can't have Lando. Is there a world in which Lando finishes P15 in qualifying with an issue? Piastri goes third fastest there. Good enough for now. So did Lando cut... So it sounds like Lando cut the corner, or like he had a track limits violation. And that's why they brought him in. Okay. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Lando just made a mistake, okay? Alright, he just went off at turn 1. Yeah. Okay. Don't stress, lads. Don't stress. For Oscar's sake, for Lando's sake, sorry, I was a bit concerned there. Was he going to have an engine issue or something, and as a result, not be able to make it out of Q2? But he's okay. Don't stress, lads. No, I just couldn't make it. He had like a little front right lock. Did they end up saying exactly what it was last week? It was a fuel leak last week, yeah. I'm not in the UK yet, Thrax, Jacob. I am still in Australia and will be for at least 6 months, at least. Still got time here, still got time to kill. Yeah, George has done quite nice so far. He's up in a P2 right now with Verstappen first, only a little bit separating the top, really the top 5, 2/10 between them. Adelaide is a great place to live. He's coming out. Yep, Lando Norris is coming out right now. He needs to get that banker in. Otherwise, he could be in threat with that track evolution at the end. If I don't know, is he on the same set? He's not. He's on a brand new set now. He's on his way out. He'll get a nice banker. Should place himself at least in the top 4 or top 3. Bit boring, but all right. What's a bit boring? Oh, Adelaide, right. No, that's all right. It's a nice place to live. It depends on what you're looking for, but as far as just like living and being comfortable goes, Adelaide's great. Alex Albon also having a huge lock up there. I believe that to be the first chicane. That is a bit of a shame for him. Not going to be doing his tyres any favour. Hello, Rose. Shame for Hajar. I agree. You've got to feel for him. Cool push. Hello, Carmen. Welcome. We have missed a double Racing Bull exit in Q1. Lando Norris right now trying an interesting strategy. Very risky right now. They're going for 2 cool laps and then a push lap. So they're just trying to gently bring these tires in. Though, yeah, that's not too quick. Okay. Yeah, so they're going for a cool push. They're bringing in a set of softs with 2 laps. He doesn't look to be going too slow. He doesn't seem to be going that slow. This is very risky. If I was them, I would just be playing it safe and going for a banker and just shredding a new set of softs. Because, you know, you're really pushing it here. In the case that your banker was going to be crap, you can box. Is he good? Is he cooling or is he pushing? I mean, he's obviously not going maximum. He's got his batteries recovering. Is he just trying to get within the top 10 still? He's P7. Cooling, yeah, but okay, now he's cooling. He's really slowed down. So they've gone with a heap of fuel. They've pushed somewhat, or they've just got a banker in on that set, and then they're doing a cool lap, and then they're going to do a proper push lap on those sides at the end. Okay. That's really risky in my opinion. I know I'm not the professional with the data, but interesting. This could end up going south for Lando. Oscar's got the safer position here, evidently, so he will go for a second lap, and he has got a P3 banker. So, you know. Fascinating. We've seen, well, I've seen multiple in my house. What are you talking about? Oh, a spider. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I have seen huntsmans. Yeah, huntsmans are not that crazy. We got all the Aussies here. Let's go. They can be big. They look kind of scary, but they ain't really. They don't really do too much. They look worse than they are. Esteban Ocon P13 right now, starting his final lap here. Let's see what he can do. Is there any traffic in his way coming turn 1? No, he seems to be clear through. Let's have a look. What is this first sector going to be for Esteban Ocon? He needs some pace here. The Haas has been giving it to them recently. That's a crazy sentence. And he's not improving. That's not looking great there for Esteban Ocon. A 10th.5 down on the get out right now. Ollie Behrman, meanwhile, is improving, so the Haas has the time. They're jumping on you, Amadiah. Yeah, I mean, why are they jumping on you? How many laps do you get in each round of qualifying? Whatever you can fit in the time. You have a certain amount of tires that you can use, so you've got to be sparing with it and strategic with what you want to run. But essentially, there's X amount of time. It's 15 minutes. Is it? 18, 15, 12, is it? Or 15? I don't know. There's a time limit within. You've got to. That's so bad that I don't know that. Can someone help me out? Huntsman's aren't jumping. No, you're fine. Ocon P12. He stays in the elimination zone. That will be Esteban Ocon out of qualifying. Now Behrman goes 7th. That's pretty safe, I'd imagine. Antonelli goes P2, ladies and gentlemen. That's the pace that he would be wanting, and that Mercedes are hoping for. 10, 15, 10, 15. I don't know. Lando is now on the cusp. Leclerc 6th, Hamilton 11th. Hamilton will improve here. I believe he has got what it takes to get out quite comfortably here. Nico Hülkenberg is improving also from P15, but will he be able to jump out of the bottom 5? Hamilton might not be able to. You know, Piastri goes 3rd fastest. Hamilton crosses the line. He has improved to P8, and currently Lando Norris is P11, ladies and gentlemen. Lando Norris is in the drop zone as we speak, and he's starting his final lap just in time. Will he get traffic? Will he get slipstream? We can only pray for his sake. Carlos stays P13, and that will be his qualifying over. Albon, though, currently in P15. Piastri is apparently going to give Norris a slipstream. If I was Piastri, no offense to Lando, I would not be obliging. I would not be complying to that. Rough. Albon proves through the 1st and 2nd sector. Norris looking a little bit rough over the curbs there. What's he like through the Lesmos? Will he go wide? No, that looks pretty smooth, let's be honest. Albon sets a decent lap, but it's only P14, unfortunately for him. Lando Norris improving through Sector 1. He needs it. What's he like across the 2nd sector? Split, that should be plenty fine, surely. Only just, actually. This is going to be close. This is going to be close. If he makes any mistakes here, he will get eliminated. He's going to pick up some slipstream, though, here. That traffic Oh dear. Oh, the traffic. Oh, that was close. Will that have unsettled Lando? Does he have a snap? He's had a little wobble through the middle of the corner. Sorry, I fumbled my words there. He's made it. Yeah, P5. Okay. He's okay. Okay, sorry. Oh, I lost my head there a little bit. That was stressful. How long left of Q2? It's done. That is it. So we've got Ocon eliminated in 15th, Albon 14th, Sainz 13th, Hulkenberg 12th, with Ollie Behrman just falling short by a small margin of 13 thousandths. Nope, less than 7 thousandths. That was close. Indeed. Yikers. Oscar should have just left him. That's what I'm saying. And not because I want the downfall of Lando. It's just they are the championship rivals. You know, you've probably, I mean, he would have made it anyway. He finished P5. I think there was enough of a margin that he didn't need the tow from Piastri, but you'd almost refuse, right? Yeah, exactly, Mina. What happened? Teammate competition. Is Norris having car issues or in his head? He almost didn't make it there. They had a weird run plan, so they made an error on the first, on his first run, his banker lap. He invalidated, so he didn't have a banker. So their strategy was to do 2 laps on the one setup. So they, and by that I mean 1 set of tires, 1 set of fuel load. So they sent him out with a lot of fuel in the car on a set of new softs. He did a banker lap that was a kind of half-assed banker lap. Pulled through, set a bad but okay banker, and then did a couple cool laps, after which then he set his final lap at the end with some slightly used up tires. So that's what that was. If you have a look at the data above us and to the side of us here, you can see that his softs at the end have done 6 laps. So, what ideal for him. Hadjar out in Q1 is disappointing. Absolutely, I'm very upset about that one for him. But it's a matter of time. He's had it really good so far. So, you know, swings and roundabouts, am I right? Red Bull looking strong. That was what I was expecting. What do I watch qualifying on, Carmen? I'm watching qualifying on Kayo Sports here in Australia. You should do the same as well. You can get your first month of Kayo for just $1 if you sign up now. Head over to kayosports.com.au. I believe that is the website. Otherwise, just look up Kayo Sports. Science P13 is a bit disappointed. Hits us with an I. Doesn't want the Rebel demotion. I don't disagree with you, to be honest. Hadjar looking incredibly unhappy there. Hadjar mad? Understandable. Hadjar's a bit upset with Carlos. He just said a swear word in the pen that had to get blurred out. Yeah. Yeah, Isak's very upset with Carlos here. Hajar will be starting from dead last tomorrow anyway. No, Hajar didn't make a mistake. They just didn't quite have it today, I feel like. I mean, sure, a few things in the run plan didn't go, as they would have liked. But overall, it's just, just didn't have it in them today. What did Carlos do? Nothing in particular, nothing malicious. He just happened to get a little bit in the way of Hajar, and Hajar was just having a little bit of a moan about what happened. Nothing crazy. Ooh. Let me pull this more upright. Yeah, so Hajar, not a happy chap. Where will Hamilton start because of his penalty? I don't think he'll be in the top 10. Yeah, he'll probably start. I reckon he qualifies 7th or 8th and then drops down to 12th or 13th respectively. So, yeah, he'll be 5 below wherever he qualifies, right? Yeah, so Max looking incredibly strong here now, guys. That was to be expected. Yuki Q3. Let's all celebrate for him, shall we? It's been some time. Antonelli did a nice final lap there in Q2. Can he maintain that? I'd love to see him in the top 5 at least. Colapinto actually superior. Alpine second. Feel like doing wasn't a lot worse. Alpine. Hang on. Let me read out this sentence. Unbiased, Colapinto actually superior, Alpine second. I feel like doing wasn't a lot worse, Alpine. So you think that Colapinto is the better second driver. You feel like Jack Doohan wasn't a lot worse. So he's better, but not by a whole lot. Is that what you're thinking? Yeah, Borderletto Q3, very pleased for that. Yeah, I suppose that's true. But I don't think that it was the wrong decision to swap Jack for Franco. I think that they were meant to sign Franco from the start. They didn't have the confidence of getting that across the line at that point because there was the chance that he could have gone to Red Bull. So they signed Jack and then realized, oh no, we have Franco. We have that deal now. So they had to kind of backtrack and bully Jack out of the system, for lack of a better word. In the sense of this is my understanding, they wanted to get rid of Jack straight away, but contractually they had to do it in a way that was polite. So give him a few races and then get rid of him with cause. So Bianca, welcome. Thanks for the follow. Lance Stroll finishing P7 tomorrow. I want you to take a screenshot of that right now and save that, okay? Save that. Ferrari, 23 pole positions in Monza. The most by any constructor at any track. Home advantage, hey? I don't believe it to be happening today, but if there was a place where they'll shock you, it's going to be here, as we saw last year. Shadow Asylum, welcome. Thanks for the follow. Fernando, pole position. It's not going to happen. I would love for it to, but it won't. I feel like he could still do a job in Formula 1. Who, Jack Doohan? No, I don't believe so. I think unbiased, Jack is not someone that I would put in my team if I was a team principal or anything like that. I have a lot of respect for Jack and what he's accomplished. He's a nice enough kid. But yeah, you've got such a great pool of talent, right? And for me, Jack doesn't quite line up with them. Would I put Sonny Hayes in my team? Maybe if I wanted a rough and tumble driver to come through. But I don't really feel like going for mode combat, so my bad. Combat. Lando Norris, purple through Sector 2. He's the first person to set a time through Sector 2, so watch this space. Piastri did have Sector 1 purple, but someone behind setting the faster time, and I do believe that to be Lewis Hamilton, as a matter of fact. Or Leclerc and now Hamilton, I believe, improving. The Ferrari's looking quick here, actually. I take back what I said 2 seconds ago. Maybe I am wrong. Norris goes a 19.4. That is nothing spectacular, as we know. Max Verstappen set a quicker time than that in Q2. Piastri now approaching the line. That looks like a nice lap. It will be quicker by a pretty good margin. Sector 3 was rapid. A 19.056 there for Oscar Piastri. Wow. Russell goes second with a 19.1. That's also quicker than Lando Norris. Antonelli, unfortunate with the 5th place so far, and Leclerc's on provisional pole. Pretty happy with that, and I think Hamilton might almost join him at the top with a purple Sector 1, green through Sector 2. He's rounding the final corner now. Short run to the line. That looks pretty good. It's P3, unfortunately. A 10th down on his teammate Charles Leclerc in P1 as it stands. Verstappen also setting some decent times right now. Yuki Tsunoda apparently having a battery issue. That's not what you want around here by any means. Alonso P8. Verstappen crosses the line. That's a pretty rapid time, and it is provisional pole for Max Verstappen. That did look rapid, and that it was. An 18.923 for Max Verstappen. A really, really strong banker there. Gianpiero Lambiase, GP as he's known, very chuffed with that. He'll take all the credit for that. No, GP and Max have a great relationship. You see all the back and forth between them, all the swearing, all the love. Ferrari right now showing that they do have the pace in them. And Lando Norris, though, not quite. 5/10 off Max Verstappen right now. He will be rather disappointed for certain. Lando showing to lack a little bit of pace right now. Whew. Max going for his 45th pole position today. Can he do it? You think Alonso's going to get P10 again? He's too old for this. Maybe. You might have a case there, to be honest. But Sonny Hayes, he come back a rough and tumble driver. You know, you can't count out Sonny Hayes. He does it for the love of the sport. He just goes driving to love the thrill of the driving. Like, you know how it is with Sonny Hayes. He just wants to go and he just wants to drive a shitty little car on the beach at the end, because that makes a lot of sense. Honestly, a really, really silly plot in my opinion. But anyway. Just wait for the F1 movie 2 when Sonny Hayes has a big crash on the beach, ends up in hospital again. Oh no, I've got to go to surgery. I kind of merged the two accents there. I did the Irish engineer and Sonny at the same time. Whenever you see that I'm live, you get so happy. Oh, Carmen, that is very sweet of you. Thank you very much. That means the world. That's very kind of you. We've got 4 minutes left now. We're only going to see one more lap from everybody. Let's have a look how it ends up, shall we? Based on what we've seen right now, guys, what are we predicting? Norris in P7 right now. That isn't great, but it's also not definitive. Pretty sure Hamilton said he didn't want to do another F1 movie. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't want another F1 movie either, if it's the same approach. Like an F1 branded documentary, like a Drive to Survive vibe, but more so. Can you imagine? Okay, here's a crazy idea. Can you imagine if they take all of the content from Drive to Survive, because they have been collecting a lot of BTS over the years, and they turn that into one film, and they kind of cut out the BS of these built-up stories, and you're able to do that more when you've got multiple seasons worth at a time. So anyway, crazy idea, but let me talk to the producers. Coming out now for their laps, we've got the Ferraris leading the way, then we got McLaren. Ooh, this is going to be a very, very huge climax at the end of Q3 here. Charles Leclerc is behind. Is that Yuki Tsunoda out front? It is indeed. Series run by Ricciardo would be peak. What? Series run by Ricciardo? Do you mean by? Like a TV series run by Daniel Ricciardo, as in like he's a producer, would be peak? I don't disagree. Yeah, cool. I got you. I'm good at translating. So watch here, the traffic. Do they bunch up? They really have knuckled down in recent years on the traffic rules, so that you don't get to do that so much. But it will be interesting to see what does happen here, nonetheless. Oh dear. Danny Rick wants nothing to do with F1 anymore. That man is gone. I absolutely agree. He's just doing his thing. He's chilling now. Daniels, he's run his course. Russell's just checking. Russell wanted the mediums, he's saying. He's not happy they put him on the softs. Go train Luke Browning? What, me or Daniel Ricciardo? What are we talking about? The Ford Daniel Ricciardo thing is just like an ambassadorial thing. They'll just be paying him a lot of money to be the face of Ford racing sort of thing. Helps obviously with his Red Bull contracts in the past. Ford are now partnered with Red Bull, and they have been for some time in other categories. Also, Charles Leclerc now starting his final lap. Let's watch how he approaches into turn one to a very tight braking zone. You've got to get that right and get the exit. Took a little bit of curb on the left there, might unsettle his exit, but if you got the power down nicely and didn't lose the rear too much, you should be okay. Let's watch this first sector. It didn't look too crazy, and it's not. It is actually down. It's a yellow first sector. I did think that first chicane wasn't spectacular. Hamilton also yellow first sector, but faster than Verstappen still, because Hamilton had a rapid first sector last time. Let's have a look now. Charles Leclerc through that second Lesmo, little bit of a washout on the exit there. His rear end not complying. It's almost dropped into the gravel, but he's kept it relatively straight. Again, won't be a crazy middle sector, and it's not. He's down by almost 2/10 now on Max Verstappen. Hamilton, the next car behind Piastri, also further back, not improving through sector one. Hamilton is now 1.6 tenths behind of Max Verstappen through the first two sectors. Going to need a crazy third sector. Piastri has nailed the middle sector with a purple set time, but still not doing much now on Max Verstappen in the first two. Leclerc now coming across the line. It's a pretty great third sector, but no, actually, I take it completely back. It looked good, it wasn't, and it's only good enough second fastest. Hamilton not improving third sector, also stays fourth. Piastri now the next to cross the line, comes around. Finally, he goes purple through Sector 3, but it is only good enough for P2 as we stand. Lando Norris next across the line, and he has gone pole position. Provisional P1 for Lando Norris, but Max Verstappen improving through the first two sectors, and I can tell you right now, it's going to be pole for Max Verstappen. He crosses the line by almost a tenth now, clear of Lando Norris. That was always going to happen, wasn't it? I mean, you saw him green through the first two sectors. Antonelli now, could he be the man to do it? I don't believe so. It looks pretty far back. It's P7 so far for Antonelli. Bortoleto currently P8. Alonso P9. George Russell now next across the line. He's gone yellow through sector 2. He crosses the line. George Russell goes 6th fastest, and he will be very unhappy because he wanted those mediums. He got the softs, and he's now planted in 6th place. Yuki Tsunoda 10th, Alonso 9th, Bortoleto 8th, Antonelli 7th, Russell 6th, Hamilton P5. That's pretty good. I expected it to be a little bit further back. So he'll start from P10 in the race tomorrow. Piastri will be a disappointed P3, Lando 2nd, and it's Max Verstappen who qualifies on pole position here in Monza. I said it in the race preview. The Red Bull will come to life here for him. And it has done just that. Max leading the race tomorrow. The McLarens have their work cut out for them. Will want to get that done as soon as they can. And over the radio, we're going to hear, simply lovely. What a lap from Max Verstappen. And with it, a new track record as well. Well done, Max Verstappen. Welcome back. Your 45th pole position for the team. I believe that to be the case. Correct me if I'm wrong. Max Verstappen has absolutely cooked. Could he get another race win this year? I didn't think it was going to be possible. He might actually do something. He might be able to. Big ups, Max Verstappen. Ladies and gentlemen, your grid for tomorrow's race. Max Verstappen starts on pole. Norris joins him on the front row of the grid. Piastri, a disappointed P3. Leclerc 4th. Hamilton 5th. Russell 6th. Antonelli 7th. Bortoleto P8. Fernando Alonso P9. Yuki Tsunoda, P10. Now he made Q3. That's as good as he could really ask. Behind him, Ollie Behrman, P11. Hulkenberg, 12th. Sainz, 13th with Albon, 14th. The two Williams there on the 7th row of the grid. Ocon, 15th. Hadjar, a disappointed 16th. Unable to get out of Q1. Will be starting from the back of the grid tomorrow. He will be changing his power unit, with that meaning that Stroll gets promoted to 16th as of tomorrow, but for now, qualified P17, Colapinto 18th, Gasly 19th, and unfortunately, qualifying in P20, it's Liam Lawson, but he will move forward due to his teammate dropping back behind him. Charles Leclerc, P4, not a bad effort, all things considered, but would have been hoping for a little bit more with a flash of pace earlier on in the qualifying session. Max Verstappen is on pole position for Monza, the Italian Grand Prix here in 2025. Yeah, lots of if, buts, and maybes there for both the McLarens, and the Ferraris also showed some pace too, but it was Max who claimed top step of the grid. I should say, not top step. He's not on the podium yet, is he? There's your qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. I said Max would be quick, and wasn't he just? How about it? Oh, thank you very much for joining me tonight, guys. It has been wonderful to have you all with us once again. Ooh. I told you that Red Bull would be quick. The race depends on where you are. Australia has different time zones. For me, it's going to be 10:30 p.m. In Sydney and Melbourne, it'll be 11. And then the other side of Australia, I believe, is 2 hours behind me, or maybe 2.5, maybe 3. I don't know. I'm pretty hopeless. Perth are irrelevant. Anyway, Max is crazy. Can we just point out he's over 7/10 in front of his teammate there? That's crazy work. Isabel Fortuna, thank you very much for the follow. Much love. Yeah, Snowder issues again. Mac, thank you for the follow. Mina, yeah, P10 for Hamilton starting tomorrow's race. Could be worse. Could be worse. I thought he might be, starting P12 or P13. But he will take a P5, I suppose, today. I mean, you've got the McLarens in front of you, that's a given. Max in front was going to be a given here. And then Leclerc, that's your only competition there. I suppose that you'd be kind of disappointed to not be. But I thought the Mercedes would even... no, I didn't. No, I knew the Mercedes would struggle. What am I talking about? Antonelli 7th is not bad, though. Like, he's only half a tenth behind Russell, which is promising. Yeah, George will be very upset not to have been on those mediums. Can we have a moment's silence for the Nico Rosberg interviews? Just to appreciate them. Verstappen Norris do a Verstappen Hamilton tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised. No, I would. That would be quite shocking. Not so much Prix. I think that they're not too bad. It gets blown out of proportion, in my opinion. Like, yeah, I think that there are some things that could be done better, but overall, it's not too bad. Lap record by Max, of course. Laura, thank you for the follow. Much love. Orlando DNF. Wow. So, I mean, whatever. I can't knock it. I mean, in 2021, everyone was wanting Lewis to DNF so that Max could win. So it's like, again, no malintent, but Max and Lando crashing at turn one would be quite funny. Not in an evil way, but it would be a bit humorous, I think. Come on, the Gunners. Seb Tui. Sebbles. What's good? How are you, brother? I thought that we were playing tonight. I didn't look at the date. Obviously, not factoring the fucking international break. I was like, we're cooking. Realizing then, oh, wait. It says the 17th or whatever it was, or something stupid. It was like maybe the 15th. I am a gooner. Yeah. What you know about me gooning? We love Arsenal. The boys are cooking. I mean, yeah, Forest is going to be one of those games where it's like, we could drop points, and then you look back on it and go, at the end of the year. I'm disappointed with Liverpool, but you know what? It is what it is. Like, all things considered, I think we should have won the race. The race? Holy shit. I've talked too much F1 stuff. I think we should have won the game. 60 to 20, with 20, the extra 20 being a draw. But then, and that they would have been wanting a draw. I think they would have been happy with a draw until that goal by Szoboszlai. So then when it happened, obviously that kind of flips the script because you just can't really account for that sort of stuff. And then, yeah, we were kind of cooked and just hoping for a draw. Anyway, it is what it is. Pick up some points against Nottingham Forest and then go on, was it City next and then Newcastle or something like that? Yeah, well. Martin Brundle driving this year's F1 car is interesting. Anyway, lads, thank you so much for coming through today for this qualifying watch along and commentary. Much love to all of you. Max Verstappen takes pole position, and will he win the race tomorrow? I think, honestly, I wouldn't be unhappy if he did. I think, he deserves a bit more success. He's really doing what he can with that car. They've dropped that wing nicely for him. and it will do its work around here. Good stuff. We'll see you all very shortly. Who will be coming out on top? Will Oscar continue to extend his championship lead, or will Lando Norris slightly lower the deficit? Or maybe by a massive sum. Will Oscar finally make a mistake and crash out? Who knows? We'll see you all tomorrow for the Italian Grand Prix. Watch, lads. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon. Tony, Max. What a guy. Oh, baby. What a legend. He is built different. My goat. Max Loki, the goat. Alright, lads, thank you so much. I am going to head off, do a bit of work, and then head to bed. Thanks for coming through, lads. I'll see you shortly. Breaking the lap record in what is being called a tractor by our boy Tony. Don't blame him. That is a pretty impressive feat. See you shortly, guys. Make sure you hit that follow button before we dip. And then I almost said a different